Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Wednesday, June the 21st, the year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Trading with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and different from Walmal's. Walmal, we got some interesting price action on the pound this morning.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. I mean, I woke up and when I started my trading day, we had 111 pip range, which is that never happens. Well, I should not say never. I should say very rarely happens. Maybe once or twice a year. But yeah, it's been a little crazy, and it was kind of crazy just because the news that came out was British news, and most of it was positive. A couple of negative things on it, but the price just fell off a cliff for whatever reason. Don't know why. Don't. And to be honest with you, yeah, from my trading, where am I trading at? I don't care why.
Yeah.
But maybe from a a political or an economic reason I may care, but not for a trading point of view. I don't care. But in any case, we're sitting out here right now. We just have, at least on my charts, I got a brand new H4. I think you do as well. And we're pulling away, going south off of that open of the H4.
Right.
Going to the beginning of the hour, we had a nice state change. It crossed over the indicator Q dot, and could have easily picked up 7-8 pips. Would have been a very nice trade. So now we're in a hold pattern because I'll do it. In fact, at my last trade, I did it. In fact, you even called me out. Why did you go long there? But for the most part, I don't like to try to catch falling knives. Let the knife hit the ground and set up and wait for my trade. But I had taken that trade only because to me it was a momentum trade, and I had a very strong inclination that it was going to get to 25 or above, and so that's why I took the trade. So now we just sit here and wait, and we're down to 20, busted 320. So
yeah, we're coming up to the let's see. Are we coming up to some lows here?
yeah.
H4 lows.
Let's see. Let me go look at my H4 chart. Yeah, we're coming to well, not necessarily lows, but there is a couple of lows there. But we had a close and an open that happened right around this area. It's also the midpoint of that big H4 candle from yesterday.
And we got that previous day low, and we've got the candle 2 on the H4, that low. That's why I thought those are the lows I remember.
So I just got to sit here and wait. Unfortunately, we do have a return bar from last hour. It's now going through. So you could have gone and taken an entry at a short entry at 18, which would have been worth 3 or 4 pips. That would have been a good entry to go and take. And the nice thing is it would have happened at the open of the current M1 candle. Okay, you got a new candle. Still no trade because we still don't have a state change. Don't have a flip-flop box. And also, what's if you would, we don't really talk about the Walmal trade that much anymore. But the Walmal trade for this hour, if you would have taken that short, you would have gotten in at 30, and you could have picked up 15 pips on that trade.
Yeah, you might want to tell the traders why you're not doing the Walmal trade anymore, or very rarely.
Yeah, I still do it, but very rarely. The main reason is just because the market's changed. That's just the reality of it. Back when I was doing it a lot, you were getting the market was moving consistently in one direction. What do I mean by that? Like it just did this hour, where you just get 3, 4 1-minute candles, in one particular direction. You may get, a little bit of a respite where the candle goes in the opposite direction for a pip or two, and then it continues going on down. And so getting 10 pips relatively quickly was kind of normal. Now, when you look at the charts, today's the abnormal day. Don't look at today's chart. Look at yesterday's chart, the day before's chart. You get a lot of chop back and forth. Can you still make money on the Walmal trade? Yes, you can. But instead of trying to go and get, I used to always go and talk about, the 10-5-1, where, you try to get 10 pips, and if you can't get to the 10 and it starts to fall back, then you go and get the 5. If you didn't get to the 10 but got to the 5, okay, make a decision either take the 5 or let it run and see what happens. And in the worst case scenario, you get out with 1 pip. Well, you really can't do that anymore just because there's a lot of chop going on where it's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But today, for the last 2 hours I've been trading, actually more than 3 hours I've been trading now, you could have made money every single hour doing that. And most hours gotten at least 10 pips, if not 20 pips each hour. But today's an unusual day. So that's the main reason why I've backed off of that method. If I start seeing more days like today, then you know what, I'll switch back, And we have to be, remember we're traders and we have to be a little bit nimble. And that's not going and changing our methodology. It's still part of, it's still part of my trading plan. It's just that I got to wait for market conditions to work for that.
Yeah, that's the one thing, you have to, if you pick a method, then you have to find the market, make sure the market's going to give you what you want during, if you're using that method. And it's just like
Exactly.
the instrument, some people ask me, well, can I do it with, a different pair? Can I do it with stocks? Can I do it with futures? Can I do it with combined? I go, you can use, the methods that I show with any instrument. It's just what you have to do is you have to run the statistics, and you might have to move the horizontal lines around, like on the buy zone. Or if you're looking at if you want to do rat trades, it's the same thing. You have to see what the statistics, what that pair or what that instrument gives you based on statistics. So some
Right.
rat zones might be 20 pips, some rat zones might only be 5. So that's just something that you have to use the tools and run the numbers.
And sometimes when you go and do that, we talk about, a rat zone. Normally, you're looking at your rat zone being, 20 pips, I think.
Yeah, that's what it usually is. Yeah.
But there are certain pairs, even in FOREX, where you're not going to get that. You get maybe 5. And then you have to start questioning, okay, is there enough room in there for me to make money or not?
Right.
And if your account's big enough, there is, because then you can risk more. But if your account isn't big enough, then it's probably not worth it. So, it's one of those things where we have to go and use our brains and actually strategically sit down and figure out what makes sense for us and what doesn't make sense.
Right. Because I just pulled up the rat. Go ahead.
I was just going to say we have a flip-flop box here. We're below indicator 2. I went short. See what it does. May get burned on this because I think we're starting to run into resistance from last hour or support from last hour. There used to be resistance. Well, you can go bring up the rat zone and I'll let people know. I'll cut in and tell you how the trade is going.
Yeah. Well, I just noticed that the smart rat, the green is actually it's a little bit wider than the normal rat zone, but the red is a little bit narrower. So, once again, just using those statistics. But if you were a green rat, you would have paid off either getting long at 27.11 or 27.13, and you would have had that trade a couple of. Let's see, actually, you would have had that trade twice. So it looks like price is shooting against you.
Yep, it is. Got a new M5. See, I got in at 14, so I'm down like 4 pips at this point.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Remember I had that one short on? It still
Yep.
never, it popped down it, but it didn't give me a chance, but I had averaged in, so I exited one with the loss and one with the win, so I netted a positive on that one. But it's just finding new, like I said, um, I'm getting good at picking these inflection points. And what's happening is I guess I'm getting in near the M30 open, and then because when I got in the first time it was red. Next thing I know, it turned around and went green on me and ran 20 pips against me. And in case you're wondering why I hadn't stopped out, it's because I'm playing a fun little game with one of my accounts. Um, some of the prop firms don't like you to do grid trading, so I'm doing that in my own account just for the heck of it. It's like, every 20 or 25 pips, if it goes against me, I'll put on a trade and then just wait for the fib retrace, and that's one of the reasons why you see the fibs up here.
Looks like I'm gonna take a loss here. Yep, I hit my stop loss. I took a 5 pip loss. So that's part of trading. And that's just the reality of what happens. You take wins, you take losses.
Yep.
And what I should have done, to be honest, is I should have gotten out at 17.8. And doing that, I was taking a small loss at that point and actually gone in again, but this time long because I had a new setup at that point. But I thought it was going to come back down. That's the thing, that's the judgment call that you have to make sometimes. I took a 5 pip loss, and what I could have done is taken a 3 pip loss, and now been right now up 4 pips. But I didn't do it. That's okay. I'm up a bunch of pips today, so I'm not really worried about it. I didn't violate it.
Yeah.
Violate any rules.
That's one of the things I've been thinking about is trading. You take all the flip-flop trades and just see if by doing that, even if some are positive, some are negative, if it would definitely if the positives would work themselves out, or the longs would work themselves out, and the shorts would work themselves out.
Right.
Might have to use one of those AIs and try that.
Yeah, I'm long. I got in at, so hard for me to do this, 20.8.
You got a 1 ball ahead of you.
Yep. I don't care about 1 balls.
I know you don't.
1 ball's turned into 2 balls. That's my.
Well, you know what? The fastest 15 minutes in trading is almost over. How did that happen? It's like we
went quick.
We blinked.
Come on, shoot up, dude. There we go. Good direction.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I got out. I got 2 pips. So I made up a little bit less than half of what I lost on the first trade.
Yeah, you'll get it.
And that's,
yeah.
You'll get it back.
Yeah.
Wait. If I would have stayed now, I would have been, I would have made up even more of it. But that's okay.
Well, fellow traders, hope you enjoyed that one. Just remember, when you're trading, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.